What's the first step someone should take if they want to prepare for their own 2-week stress test? A powerful mindset shift with this stress test is realizing that your business is never going to stop, tap you on the shoulder, and say, hey, everything's good. Why don't you go ahead and take a trip? It never feels like the right time. I'm going to do this for my own sanity, for my own clarity, for my own sharpening the saw, as the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People would teach us. And then for our team, allowing them to step up, there is a implied trust, and you can certainly say that I trust you. That's why I feel that I can leave. But when we do step out, you are saying you could do this without me.
First thing I would do would be to take a look at one day or 2 days or 3 days. We're going to document any questions that come in, any access requests, and you're going to see where are some of the bottlenecks, some of the things people are coming to me. Sometimes we don't even realize how much we're helping people because they're just quick responses. So you need to start paying attention to that. Another great thing to do is if you have a leadership team or just your team in general, pull them together and ask them, hey, if I were to step away for 2 weeks to stress test the business, what things can you guys think about that would impact your ability to make decisions or to complete projects because of access? And there's probably a lot of things they're thinking of that you might not even think about. I mean, a silly example for us, you gotta love technology. When you have somebody trying to access a website or an app and they have to send a text message to authenticate the access, some of those were set up on our phone numbers. It was preventing people from getting access to certain sites that they needed because it had to be verified and our number was the verification. So sometimes it's just simple things like that. And then I would probably start with a 1 week. If you've never stepped away for a 1 week, I would start there. Now, the important thing with the 1 week is that doesn't mean that you front load and end load any of your responsibilities. And that's what a lot of us do with 1 week. We don't actually put a plan in place so that they can still happen. We just move them. So all those things that would have to happen that week or people would need access to, you just don't want them waiting until you get back, right? You might notice that's an issue when you go away for a week and everyone leaves you alone, but then when you get back, it's like, oh, I didn't want to bother you, but now I need this and I need that. But start at a week, right? Build up then to your 2 weeks. And so whenever you stress test it, whether it be 1 day or 1 week or 2 weeks, the magic comes from bringing everybody back together afterwards and saying, what worked really good? What didn't work well? What weren't you able to do or have access or solve in my absence? What are the systems, structures, or supports that we need to put in place for next time? And so an example of this, I remember a few years back, Wes and I were still pretty involved in the hiring and onboarding process in our company. But what would happen is when we weren't there, that person's onboarding experience would be altered because they would not get to meet with Wes and I. We would typically share the company history and our core values. If we were here, they got it. If they didn't, if we weren't here, then one of our leaders would do it, but that's different than hearing it from the company owners. So we realized when we were away on one of these that, man, our onboarding experience has really become inconsistent if we are not able to do it. And so one of the systems that we put in place when we returned was Wes and I pre-recorded some of those key videos. I don't know if there's been a time where we've left and not come back and been able to tweak or add or adjust even a little thing to make our business stronger.
You want to give space for your team to grow, and you taking a step back is a powerful way to do that. It's always going to feel busy. It's always going to feel urgent. And it's amazing when you do step out. Just before we left this last time, it felt like there was so many things going on for us. It felt like urgent things were piling up. We stepped away and everything went smooth. We are not as needed as we feel like many times. Yeah, we talk about this in our shifts. The third shift, the sustainability shift from required to replaceable. And then the fourth shift, the scaling shift, which is from solving to scaling. Can the business flow without you? Will operations still happen smoothly without your presence? And then can the business grow without you? And that's such a powerful place, a powerful shift to be in, where you can step out and the business is still leveling up and growing without your direct involvement. Imagine that. And that starts with being able to do things like the stress test and asking your team questions, and a powerful question to ask as you're preparing and building up to being able to do this. What would need to be true for me, for us to be absent for 2 weeks or 4 weeks and you still be able to crush your KPIs to accomplish the goals that are set before you? What would need to be true for that to happen?